the lads could be a bit nervy, we're quite young, but if they play with a bit of freedom, I think we win the game.
England have never won the Euros, 9 attempts. Can this be the first?
You just took the words out of my mouth there, Gary. I think it'll be a score draw. I don't think we want to peak too early. I do think it's key that we have to get in and around Modric and stop him playing. We have to try and go after Croatia. We have to try and use home advantage with his fans in Wembley. Go after them early on.
It's a big moment for these players. Leading up, we've all played in major tournaments. That first game's always a little bit nervy.
Tournaments are about momentum, and of course, this first game, you do not want to lose the first game, so it's important the players do stay calm, and I'm sure those are the words that Gareth will be giving them. The first game, let's not lose, but you've got the ability to win.
What about this atmosphere? There's only 22,500. You think there are a lot more? They feel right up for
I can't wait for us to go off camera now and we can start dancing with them. I mean, it's phenomenal to see the fans back in here. The atmosphere right now, 100%. These players, this atmosphere now.
Here come England walking out at their national stadium in a major football tournament for the first time since 1996. Midfielder Jermaine Geenan is alongside Guy Mowbray.
Thank you, Gary. England had a good afternoon. A big day for so many of us in the country. Well, the events yesterday, indeed, more than the safety funds should more than ever continue to treat the inevitable highs and lows ahead with a very healthy dose of true perspective. Although it's not really important, it still matters hugely to millions. Now England and Croatia are on their way.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem, starting with Croatia.
I don't mind this, but when it comes to taking the lead, let's see what happens. Aaron, all the nations. Yeah, 26 degrees outside. So the Croatian talent, right?
Standing for the national anthem of England.
Proudest moments of many young England lineup careers so far. 6 of the team also started the World Cup semi-final against Croatia 3 years ago, including free kick scorer Kieran Trippier, who starts at left back ahead of Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell. Those playing in their first senior tournament game are Tyrone Mings, Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Mason Mount and Phil Foden. The clamour to select Jack Grealish from the start has not extended to Gareth Southgate. He stays loyal to Raheem Sterling, backed up by a run of 12 goals in his last 16 England games. Referee, Orsato of Italy. Took 2 players in his last game. That was the Serie B playoff final at the end of May. Venezia against Cittadella. For Croatia, no Dan Lovren, not fit to play in game 1, so Marseille's Julia Shaleta-Zar plays in defence, as does 19-year-old Joško Guardiol, just his second international match, with Rangers' Borna Barisic not in the matchday squad. Further forward, all familiar names, including striker Andrej Kramaric. Couldn't get past Jamie Vardy into Leicester's team, but he has gone on to score 95 goals for the German side. Often new hairstyle has been hitting the headlines. Dazzling feet now. Emerson skills and the experience and the know-how of Luka Modric. Countdown to kick-off is on. Glorious Wednesday sunshine. Players take them in. It is England to get the game started. Let's go. Heard all those statistics about never having won their opening game of the European Championship. Exclude losing in the Championship at Euro 96 with a loss a major tournament game at Wembley. We'll go with that.
It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with the pressures of this game today. This young England side, we're up against a team that knows how to do it, a team that's been together for a long period of time. A couple of changes in there, but they'll be confident coming into this game.
Jordan Pickford. Harry Maguire missing from the regular back lineup now. The regular lineup that started against Croatia at the World Cup. Tricky selection that back has caused quite a bit of chatter. What's your take on it?
Look, I think it was obviously a tough decision from Gareth Southgate, and we heard his comments before the game. He felt like he needed that added bit of experience. He knows Kieran Trippier well, and if you add to that, looking in the side, we haven't got that many set piece takers either, in all honesty. And Kieran's delivered on the biggest stage in the semi-final. On top of that, wide free kicks, Mason Mount possibly, but I think that might have been an element to his decision also.
With Rice. John Stones. Expect to see a high-tempo game all the way through the 90 minutes. You just can't do that in conditions like this. Players in the Premier League don't play in this heat all too often.
No, they don't, but they're going to have to get used to it. They're going to have to adapt. You can see already that Croatia are trying to kind of impose themselves a lot higher up the pitch than maybe a lot would have thought, but it is about keeping the ball. It's about making the opposition work.
It's Raheem Sterling finding a little bit of time on the ball. Phillips finds Stones. Walker. He came across to give him a short pass option. It's going to be a free kick for Croatia. Perisic is still around delivering the goods. Scored a semi-final against Gareth Southgate's side 3 years ago, and then in the final Wishes defeat to France. Team not come into this tournament with any great form. Only won 2 of the last 9 games. These were World Cup qualifiers at the end of March against Cyprus and Malta. They do have a long-standing reputation as always being able to turn it on and turn it off. Nice rendition of the kickoff, the song that upsets 1 or 2 in the Croatia camp, and others. There's Modric. Modric trying to feed Kovacic with a way through. Chance to cross and again. And pretty much everybody back in the box. Modric tries to weave through. This has gone in England's favour. And Emiliano Santos spotted a handball.
It was that, or whether the ball had hit him. I think the ball hit him, so he's going to retake it. But I think what Luka Modric is really upset with is that's where he comes to life in that moment, and he's angry because he's at the ball, he's got the ball, and he's running all of a sudden looking for a little 1-2. He's trying to make something happen, and he'd have rather had that situation rather than where he is right now.
Kovacic comes to the South Coast, over the head of the Atletico Madrid right back, one of them anyway. Trippy is the other. Head to head down this side of the field. Next still. Foden moving nicely in front of it. Phil Foden. Oh! Nearly came back to him. Guardiola managed to clear. First glimpse of Phil Foden's fantastic talent. Nothing will faze him.
As you can see there, he was cool as he needed to be. Phil Foden getting it onto his left foot. Nice little counter attack actually. And Guardiola needs to understand he can't show Phil Foden on his left foot too many times. He will punish you.
Minks. Jordan Pickford's possession. It's gone away. The old heads of the team, Kyle Walker. Easy for Pickford, ultimately.
Yeah, it's good positioning though from Declan Rice. He's there exactly for those kind of moments. The insurance policy. The breakdown and play.
Sterling. Doesn't quite get there.
There's his chance. He just knew once Phil Foden had him 1v1, it was all going to go his way. He was going to dictate what he wanted to do. As he shifts it there, he's so close and he just abandoned it into that bottom corner. Keeper's got absolutely no chance. What a dream start that would have been for him and for England.
Inside of the post. Another day. Well, gone back in off the keeper's legs. On margins.
High margins, but it's also good signs. You know that they're going to play forward quickly. Foden immediately knows he's got the beating, of Guardiola. You know, I think instantly he backed off the defender. He was worried. He was nervous. It's a good sign.
Good ball for Mason Mount. Just a bit away from the first challenge that came in from Domagoj Vida. Here's some competitor. Sterling gets it through against the Mount. Sterling down, and it was a solid block tackle from Chilentosar. Corner given.
That's really good play. That is that side, got a bit of skill there from Raheem Sterling. I'm just thinking here, he does so well to get himself on side, but kind of gets his feet just muddled up. He tries to chop back and make something happen. Can he just try and get that ball to Phil Foden? It's a difficult one. Collector saw in the end did really well.
Really lively start for Randy Sterling, heavily involved.
I didn't see it.
Some runs on the corner. Stone just wanted to bring it out a bit. Back into the crowd by Calvin Phillips. Croatia managed to get it away, but England is starting really strongly here.
Yes, we watched the game, didn't we, Guy? We did the game, sorry, the Italy game in the week. In Rome, and the energy that the crowd brought to that game and the performance that the Italians put on the day had a huge impact, and these England players are definitely responding to what the England fans are bringing at the minute.
Matt. To Walker. Walker to Foden. Does around Wembley whenever he gets on the ball. He's forced to think again. Good throw. That's Calvin Phillips' effort.
Strike. Need to keep his eye on it all the way, but
He's set it up, but not away. Phillips. Hands off the challenge. The real work to keep the ball. That's what he's done.
a good step to the game. It was one of the games I'm sure Gareth Southgate was questioning, should he start him, should he not? Should he go with more experience, less with Jordan Henderson? He seems right up for it today.
Sterling to Mount. Brilliant body shape. Phillips. Walker makes progress. Near the groan as he failed to get the ball under proper control. Livakovic. Busy. Jordan Pickford yet to be. That strike again. So well, keep his eye on it all the time. Focus. Dito Livakovic. In for a pair of legs. On its way to him. It's Kane. Foden. Close enough to Mason Mount. Sterling takes over. Get the ball away with Kramaric. Selko. Kovacic. It's spread out by Brozovic. Brilliant pressure from the England players.
Start of the game really well. I think they're even mixing up the attacks there. I think Jordan Pickford with their longer ball in behind, a couple of balls in behind his Croatian defence. It just forces them to drop if they feel that that ball is continuously going to be getting dropped over them with the likes of Sterling and Foden that can cause problems.
Trippier. England. You could do with it.
In tournaments here, I don't mind it. There's a bare defensive. I don't mind that.
Revic. Keep it in and Revic keep possession. Brozovic. Vida. This is what Croatia need. Spell on the ball at least. Guardian. Starting to stretch to get it. Poke it away.
Again, to make it do the job. The first season, he was alright. This season, looking
Tyron Minks. To Sterling.
I was swear. Yeah, that's you. I was on the phone. Yeah, that's fair.
I was going to say one thing I really like already, guys. The Rice and Phillips relationship. Declan is playing much deeper. Usually we see them next to each other and they almost kind of want to go and get the same ball and do the same thing. Phillips now playing much higher, Harry Kane, and that's so much better for a midfield player when you're off the line, things around the corner, and you know full well that actually I'm going to go and get the ball off the centre half. These second balls, and already that seems
Is the goal. His greatest clearance. Brozovic. Checked his bearings. Just given a bit of time. Rice. Stones. Sterling, first time. Not collect. Hook isn't successfully clear. And again. And once more from Sterling. Modric. And the pressure from Trippier. Kane just dropped out of it. Trying to lead a charge into the Croatian penalty area. The referee will stop play and will give England a free kick.
rightly so. The Croatians are arguing, but they're probably arguing about that challenge there from Phillips actually. But he does. And the second one on him was definitely a foul.
Kovacic who brought him down. Or a strike. Getting Trippier did come straight away across to size it up.
I think it's definitely too far for a strike. It's actually kind of a difficult one to pick out as a free kick taker. He's going to try and float this maybe towards John Stones, or they're going to maybe shift it and let Mason Mount just put his foot through it.
Raised.
I think he went too early. Harry Kane. It's one of those ones where you just give them a little look. The player on the ball. Are you ready? Just went a bit too soon, Harry Kane.
After long. She gives chase. What stage of the game do the young players feel the nerves just get out of the legs for the first tournament match, Jermaine? They're not shown many.
First touch, I'd say. I think nerves are all about the build-up and what people make of the game. You know, this team has come out fearless, in my opinion. I think for most players, once you get that first touch, that bit of fresh air, you're good to go. You're in game mode. And stopped by Chileta.
They're in press mode again. Foden. This is that good. Thought he won the ball and he has a good shot to follow. The referee has deemed that it should be a free kick to Croatia. It was a foul by the Leeds United man.
Mateo Kovacic just kind of the ball off Phil Foden, but Calvin Phillips just letting him know he's not going to have that. He's solid in there, Calvin. Loves the tackle.
He's quiet in these temperatures. Intercepted by man. Full of energy. Trippier supports him with some of his own.
Just going forward. Instead of come back every time. I'm sorry.
This is a really good start to this game. But that is one of those occasions right there where if you've got a left-sided fullback, he just takes a touch and whips that across the 6-yard box. You've just got to kind of weigh up the pros and the cons, really. We're playing the right footer at left back. He's definitely adding calm, very good on the ball.
Miguel Sanchez saved 3 matches, but that was a factor in his thinking, the tournament know-how. Matt Phillips with another break from midfield. Here's Raheem Sterling. Not enough on the chip to find Phillips nor Foden. Perisic with a bit of a hack away. England come again. This time by Chileta.
It's a really impressive start, isn't it? I mean, Croatia are all over the place. At the minute, you can't handle the pace that England are playing at. When they don't have the ball, England, they're winning it that quick. Things like that, turning too easy. Brilliant from an England point of view. The only thing you would say is, it's a period of the play that you need to capitalise on.
Able to take it and spin 2 or 3 times already.
Sterling's done the same thing. He's quite happy to do this, knock it around. The next minute, he's gone. He's in behind you.
Tomorrow mix. Not able to keep it in.
It's a lovely ball, this is Mason Mount. Can't tell you how good that ball is. Brilliant touch. Just looking for someone at the far post there, Raheem Sterling. There's the run that I like, that willingness to run in behind and make defenders think. That's what's going to create all those spaces in front for Mason Mount or Calvin Phillips.
Sterling, the most experienced international player in the England squad. 61 caps, 41 goals. That's a wonderful recent run of goal scoring form for his country. The one thing that's missing from his CV at the moment is a goal at a major tournament.
Especially here. He's an amateur. Exactly that place he grew up as a boy. And to do it in a major tournament would be special for him.
Shime Osaka. It's wrong. Brought to an end. A trip of his own rather than a trip from Sterling. Leader.
Modric to Modric.
Hey.
Kovacic. Modric is on the move. And Trippier tripping to the referee. Lay off from Kane. Don't come any further with. Probably a couple of dives. First one from Vasalko trying to get one down the right hand side. And Modric on that occasion.
I know. I didn't think they'll go right. I didn't think they'll do that. Let some right. I didn't think now.
On his shoulder to check Luka Modric's whereabouts. On the track. He's across from Vasalko, well met by Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
They have a good start to the day.
Yeah.
Get showered in praise after the two warm-up friendlies.
I think Bellingham is like, I don't understand. He's got so much experience now.
Kovacic.
Oh my God!
Teenager Joshko Guardiol. Unsurprisingly, with that surname, has the nickname Little Tat. Especially for that. There's no little Tat about the defending here. It's one of Pep's favourites. Exactly, nearly the perfect start. Shifting it onto his left. His eyes must have lit up when he had all that space to sink in. Find the bottom corner for me. The South Cup for England's throw. Sterling. Quite in the impressive category. With a little bit becalmed since that opening. This is a chance. This is a bigger chance than it looks. At least hit the target, work the goalkeeper. It's sat up perfectly for him. Just snatched at it a little bit. Plenty of London's and the rest of the UK's Croatian community inside Wembley today. Plenty of them dressed in the traditional home kit, which is a cracker. Mings. Here's Modric. Here's Vasalko.
Look how slow they
Phillips making his presence felt again. Here though, stop his Atletico teammate Vasalko, and here's an opening. But it was a rushed finish from Ivan Perisic. Yeah, we just need to be a little careful here. There's 2 or 3 crosses that have been coming into the box now that they've had some joy with. Tyrone Mings actually did quite well there just to pull out of that challenge. It's always going to be tough for Perisic bouncing up on his right foot from there. That'll start to give the Croatians a bit more confidence in this game. It's fortunate not to be a goal down as it stands, but it's taken them a while to wake up. A long conversation between Jordan Pickford and John Stones deciding what to do with this. Pickford went back to page 1 of the manual eventually. They keep hitting Raheem Sterling with these long balls, huh? Watch Raheem Sterling play for Man City for the last 4 or 5 years. Luka Modric.
And he's wearing number 9. He's not he's wearing it. Yeah, how many players have got this? This is why I rate Bruno so much. He's able to play that lecture when he had to. Then he has to play the last minute. You know why?
It's the run of the South End.
That's what I'm saying. If you're struggling against Croatia, it's like that 1-0. When you get to France, what do you do?
Again, and the ball into the box. Kramaric out to Vasalka. Croatia is settling. Swinger from Vasalka, which is too much for Guardiola to be able to keep up. Luka Modric starting to take over now, starting to get on the ball a little bit more. Things happen with the Croatian side, the diagonal ball.
We'll be more defensive than we are.
It was Brent that was talking just before the game about closing down the spaces. Even with somebody like Luka Modric, it's really important that England manage that and do that today.
It's survived. You've seen Sunderland since he left.
What is it? Track of where Kieran Trippier was going to be.
Now that we have Alvarez's signings at Palace,
One to the other.
just me.
Not sure what Kieran Trippier could have done with that. Strong enough to see that. Considerable pressure being applied.
I think what focus on game. So I think it's just be a bully fan.
It's fine.
Couple of diary reminders for you. Euro 2020 highlights tonight, BBC One, 11:15, and then tomorrow attention turns to Scotland's Open against the Czech Republic. That will be live 1:15 in the afternoon. Followed later on by Spain against Sweden at 7:30. A football-filled day.
That's why you give him a wire.
Yeah, in the sunshine too. Terrific. Southgate sides. Terrific start here, despite not getting an opening goal. That's just subsided somewhat. Sometimes the player takes a while to just figure things out. I think is playing surprised me a little bit. Maybe in that midfield for Croatia, they've had a half an hour spell just hanging on whilst they figure the formation and the tactics out of England. But we're definitely coming into it in these last 5 minutes. Mings comes across. Going a little blindsided by it.
No time.
Good burst from Kovacic. Perisic.
Yeah.
Brings it back. Declan Rice who dropped it and got the ball for reaching Rebic. Midfield. Talk about nerves from the players. Feel the nerves. England supporters just at the moment.
Yeah. I should have finished the
Vasalka.
I'm seeing that possible halfway line get assist.
It's not striking the ball from 35 yards.
Brozovic, you're trying to assess his options, and the flap of the hands tells you that he doesn't feel lower enough. He had a lot of time to decide what he wanted to do with it. That was something that wasn't happening in the early part of the game. So it was discussed before the game that usual high pressing game, or the plan to do that, is impossible for an hour and a half continuously. You've just got to pick moments. You know, those moments are like England will be waiting now, and Croatia knock it around, and at this point as a player, usually you're waiting for, you know, a bad pass or something that's a little bit tight, and you think, right, and then once one player goes, that's the decision made, the whole team will go. Moments, or in England language, you've got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. It's got a few for you to wrap. I'm sure you know it all quite well. I was close. So, yeah.
You see Mark Would you say it's better? Finish it. Take it. Out of fucking. Yeah, you guys take 3 games.
But he was a finisher.
Major tournament good feeling there. Yeah, the flashlight for being so big hit. Night Empire look at the minute. I think one of the big things that England have kind of come away from, which happened just here actually as well, it's a lovely ball from Calvin Phillips over the top. I think in the early stages we had a couple on his left hand side with Lins and Trippier over the top to Raheem Sterling, and I think it got us playing on the front foot. We were able to press a bit higher. We've gone back into a bit of a let's just pass it for the sake of passing it kind of mode for the last 10-15 minutes, and that suits Croatia much more than it suits us.
Passing always suits him. Go beyond. Walker in the way. England goal kick.
Yeah,
Should be made a bit better.
At least they let us up early. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather now than send to be gassed.
Pickford constructs all in white, but he's going to go long.
You got really bad teams that make it to World Cup just because it's spread across the whole. Yeah, you got North Macedonia in this one.
Modric.
Yeah, but they don't go there with Saudi Arabia World Cup. Yeah, they did.
Almost nicked it. With Southwell, Sterling. Stones, that was commanding. On the ball and left. Once they Rebic on the floor, Rebic the referee was an elbow planted at the top of his head.
We've got the best team in the world. You got the Brazils, yeah, that's the only thing. They get more to that stage, yeah. Whereas Euros, you can get knocked out. Yeah.
Easiest run. Easiest run.
We would have lost the France, yeah, but we would have been gassed. Honestly,
Stones.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true in theory, but it works.
Make him run the other way. That was the moment there. You got all the space. You kind of drawn them together. You know the pitch. He's going to probably hold up the ball.
Another universe did. Sterling's that guy. How he told that?
Spiraling to the floor. Right on the edge of the penalty area.
Oh, you're senior guy now, man.
He's definitely got the beating of them in those wide areas. The more you can get the ball to Sterling, the more you can get the ball to Phil Foden. Things are going to happen in this game for England. Just got to give them the ball.
This England team is going
On to Walker.
That's not how we finish them. Okay. I'm saying.
Find Jordan Pickford clearly this time, it does.
He's the game over.
I run next.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
I mean, to be fair,
It's not this afternoon.
not in the 10.
Next one now from Sterling's flick off.
Have Rashford.
Mount.
Kane's that one guy. No, you can't. But he's not even going to give him tactics. You can't even tell Kane stay up top. Right. Shane's doing one time. That's it. Tell Kane, this ain't Tottenham, stay up front.
The run of Phillips getting forward again.
I'm done with these matches.
Made that roll too often, but he didn't time his run. Himself offside, but it was needed at the time. There was a lot of players were standing and looking at Trippier, and it needed that run from deep. I said before, I'm enjoying how he's adapted that midfield role. Not just playing next to Rice, playing a bit higher, having an attack with things like that. It was important for the structure and how the midfield worked. Time working. 2 to fix his players with. It's away from now. There's a offside here. Free kick.
The fact has been nearly a whole walk. He hasn't had a clear start.
More substitutes.
Anyone pass it?
Bear in mind.
Pass it forward with his lines.
It will be used. But needed. Walker. Yeah, squads of 26, but you can only name 23 on any given match day, so those that have missed that window today are Harry Maguire. We know about his ankle injury. He may be back involved in the final group game against the Czech Republic. Ben Chilwell has been left out, and as we mentioned, Jermaine, Jadon Sancho. Anderson's on there.
Where was the one competition?
Subdued feel approaching half time. Trying to do their best now to change that. Yeah, they're just trying to lift the players a little bit. They've lost their way in the last 10 minutes of this game. It's really slowed down. It's very hot. This is every time. Sterling. Sterling goes down to ground it's a yellow card for it too. He's going to go forward on that side. You see there, it is on ball.
I know.
They don't know how to live with it. But it's actually when we've been at our best as well. He's been the one player that's really top the game at the top end of the pitch. He needs to try and get a bit more of Harry Kane.
It looked like he just scared it.
This remembering exactly where they were in the semi-final. Hoping he can do the same again. And the goal, the Kieran Trippier has scored for his country. This is 29th international appearance. Will working up those memories here, flashing through his mind. Asking the question, can I? But I don't think he's going to get the answer he wants. Let's see. Stops Trippier. Hands up to the top of his head.
not seen the video.
Ball alive once more. It was close. His hands on his head. Top of his head. Really strong ball. The back of the net. 5th minute of that semi-final night in Moscow. England led at half-time. Just though they're growing to in this one.
They got that Bretlow. Who's the German striker? He's the German under 21 striker.
On with him quickly. It's his ball.
Oh, don't forget Musiala. That guy. Plays by me. That guy's when you can get to a Bayern Munich team, try like so was it 80? Was it at least different in that?
Kovacic.
Come on, go through it.
Going to throw that down the ball. Walker succeeded defeating the race to Guardiola. Actually getting busy. Almost getting through. Means to stop them from doing that. Into the blow. He's dutiful defending for his country. He did well there, Tyrone, because there's a lot going on. He was kind of find himself in a good position. Not only won the ball, but won the free kick with it as well.
Surgeon, come on,
So a good first half. Tyrone Mings settled into the game nicely. It's a great story when you see him at a major international tournament. Only as recently as 2012 when he considered quitting the game at age 19. Clubs up and down the country over the last few weeks and months. Don't give up. It's never that far away. It is half time in the opening game for England and Croatia at Euro 2020. And Southgate's team started impressively on the front foot, forcing Croatia back. It's evened up quite considerably since then. Phil Foden still the closest to have come to scoring. A shot that came back off the inside of the post. And Calvin Phillips is impressed going forward too. At half time, though, it is England 0, Croatia 0.
Yes, no goals in the first half, but some encouraging football being played by England, particularly in the first half of the first half. And overall, I would think, we don't usually see many goals in the first half of these tournaments. I think only Belgium have done that so far. But overall, pretty impressive, really.
Very impressed, Gary. I wanted them to go after Croatia in the first 15 or 20 minutes, and they did exactly that. They pressed, they passed with pace. There was an energy about their game. They were creating 1 or 2 chances. And that would be my only worry. When we're on top of it, slightly unlucky with Foden in the main. I think
evaluate that first half. Yeah, I agree with Alan. The energy in the team was fantastic for the first 20, and I think they mixed up their game brilliantly. We saw a lot of runs, penetration from Sterling, from Mount, and Phillips on the other side, which I think gave the Croatians a lot of problems. And it's when you want to score. Now the game settles, you see a little bit of Modric getting some space. It's important now that they stay calm. But there was a lot of positives in there.
I suppose the difficult thing when you're playing that press like they did early on, and the energy levels required to do that, Rio, in this heat, you're going to have a breather at some point.
Yeah, and we saw that they took their breathers. Like they all just looked around and said, "Listen, we'll take our foot off the pedal." But this is about taking your moments when they come. And yeah, we've had a couple of little snips here, but the second half, I'm sure we can do that. But the subs, as we said before the game, will have a huge impact in this game, I'm sure.
And most of the games we've watched so far, things have opened up in the second half. That pressing game in the first 20 minutes in particular really caught the eye.
Did, Gary, they were willing to go direct, but when they went direct, they're also picking up the second ball. But when they had to sort of sit off and say, "Okay, you're going to pass it," then they picked their moments of when to go, not just on individually, but they went in 1s and 2s. And for a lot of the time, they got success in winning the ball. But you're not going to have possession all the time when you're playing against top quality players, and you have to do this and you have to do it as a team and do it very well. And I think England have done that. They haven't panicked when Croatia has been in possession, but they've then forced them into 1-0. As I said, they are a good team, so there are going to be times when they do that. But Gordon decides to go on this one, and then you can see the 2 or 3 backing him up. Then again, Phillips, who I think has been excellent, as many players have in there, has played his part also. So from that point of view, they've done that very well.
Individually, there's been a lot of impressive performances, Frank. Who's caught your eye mostly?
Well, I think Phillips in midfield. I think that the energy and the few clips we saw there. I think it's brave selection from Gareth in midfield. He slightly tweaked it and played right, slightly deeper. Phillips on the right and Mason on the left, and that then gives Phillips and Mason the chance. Okay, you can jump, and you know you've got security of right sitting behind you, and they did that very well for the first 20 minutes or so.
I think you've had a close look at the formation, Rio, and how it's worked well for England.
Yeah, because that was a big question mark going into this game, and I think playing the 4 at the back, this question could it be a 3, but it's the 3 in midfield, the way they're shaped up with Declan Rice at the base of it, allowing Mount, allowing Phillips to be free, and like Frank said, pick their moments when they do jump out of that formation to go and press. And that seems to be the trigger a lot of the time. And Phillips has got the license also when he's in there. If he's not playing as one of the 2 pivots, he's got license now off the right hand side to run and make life beyond Harry Kane at times. And he's been dangerous in that.
Yeah. I think it shows that the thinking of Gareth in playing strip down. He said, right, I've got these 6 players. We're going to release from midfield, and we want a little security behind us. And then
And England did have 1 or 2 near misses, particularly for a forward.
I think it might have taken a little deflection there, but that's been impressive. They've got sort of getting that in behind the back as well, direct pass coming from the but they were all I think just might just take a slight deflection. Onto that ball. Very good.
I like Cody's position there. We've seen him play inside a lot, and when you're a left-footed man on the right side with his ability to cut inside, his starting position made that through ball available for Sterling, and he's in on goal.
I think England have looked most dangerous a lot of time when the ball's been played long at times, but it's the run. The run's been asking for that ball to come in, and it transitions, and they're quick, the pace, they're scary. I mean, that technique there is Phillips tremendous on the body coming up the stride.
They're all positives that we talked about from England. So Gareth in there will be telling them all of those things.
Rio, I'll just ask you about Tyrone Mings. He's obviously the man that's come in as a replacement for Harry Maguire. He's not really put a foot wrong, has he?
He's been superb. But listen, we asked the question before. Will he be able to stand up to this and this pressure? He's not played in this type of high-profile game before in his career. He's answered the critics, answered any critics, he's answered any questions that he's had. He's been tremendous in everything he's done. This is what, you know, he's food and drink for him. The ball getting crossed into the box, he defends his box as well as any. He loves that combat. But the thing I've liked about him is he's got concentration. He's very, 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 very confident. He looks everything he's doing here, covering the channels, covering that space, aggressive when he gets there. And when he's had to play long at times, he's done that. Never been ashamed of doing that. And I think that's been very good in the way that he's played.
Yeah, I think he's Tyrone. I think he's a defender who likes to defend his box. He loves doing that. What we talk about before as this tournament goes on, if people dragging outside the box and want to move his feet, the one thing you have to say when the ball's right in the box, he finds himself in the right position and he's happy to go and compete with anything.
This is what he's done well as well here, that pass that I was on about. And they haven't been afraid to go direct because the movement, I think, particularly down that left-hand side where maybe Mount's come short and enabled Sterling to run in behind, I think they've done that really well.
There have been warning signs every now and again, and he's just been the one who slammed the door shut, which has been fantastic. And you got fouled in him, but it was good positioning, covering, and watching the runs. And that's when it happens. Like Frank said, intricate passing build in front of him is when it can open up to be a problem. You've got to concentrate.
Yeah, that's been a real bonus. But this is England. England fans at home, they'll be nervous, they'll be tense. It's goalless, and we'll all be worrying about where the threat's coming from. And Luka Modric, I mean, he's at 35, he's still such an elegant footballer.
Well, we were waiting for him to try and get on the ball, but he couldn't because of the way England were playing, how they were pressing. But it was inevitable after 20 or 25 minutes that couldn't continue, and he was sort of going deeper and deeper to try and force the play and get on the ball, and he did that. And we just saw 1 or 2 bits of top quality just to give us a little reminder that he can still do the business out there, Frank.
Yeah, I don't think the way Croatia is set, they can go from back to front very quickly. They haven't got an out-and-out front man. They're going to need Modric to try and link, get them up the pitch, and then they can be dangerous around that box.
But listen, at the end of the day, this is when you get the experience from coming to play. They've weathered the storm. The first 15-20 minutes was difficult for them. They've got through that. I'm sure they'll be shuffling the pack once they get in the changing room. Yeah.
The second half will be very important for England. Well, we've got quite a summer of sport coming up with Wimbledon and the Olympics as well. Keep up with it all on BBC iPlayer.
That's really a big picture.
Post-match binge. Streaming now on BBC iPlayer.
More live football tonight. Brazil take on Venezuela in the Copa America. That's live on iPlayer at 10 o'clock. Which is year late Euros. We'll round up the day on BBC One at 10:30. And Scotland play their first game in a major tournament since 1998 tomorrow against the Czech Republic. BBC One from 1:15. And the Scots opened their campaign on home turf at Hampden before heading down to Wembley on Friday to take on England. Ailey Barber as the latest from the Scottish camp.
It's 5 matches in these European Championships and final checks and run-throughs going on. They have the last training session this morning at the as much as you can sense things are building down in the camp. When you get to the stadium, it takes on a whole new level. The branding, the flag, everything goes hand in heart like we've ever experienced before. And if that isn't enough, tomorrow there will be 12,000 Spartan Army inside here. The first crowd of any local in Scotland since the pandemic began. As a Scot, to be standing here right now, it is incredibly exciting. Tomorrow is going to be something else, and I just cannot wait to see the team walk out onto this immaculate looking pitch behind me. It might not happen.
Just a couple of minutes now to the start of the second half. Let's go pitch side with Kelly Summers and Alex Scott.
Yes, well, I can tell you it is still incredibly hot down here pitch side. Myself and Alex situated ourselves during the first half just to the side of the England dugout. And Alex, they certainly looked hot, didn't we? We saw them offered caps. They didn't take them. They obviously wanted to make sure they call on TV. What did you make of that first half? Did the heat play a part in it, do you think? I think it did. The more the game went on, you could see we had a brilliant start, the tempo, England getting on the ball, passing, linking up, it was great. But then I think Croatia started to figure out what England were doing, where they were being dangerous. So for me in the second half, I think we can really exploit them in the channels. I think both fullbacks for Croatia are their weakest link, and we need to be able to exploit that more. We are sitting next to the substitutes. We've seen them kind of warming up, not sure how much they want to in this team. But would you like to see any changes or anything different in the second half? Yeah, I think when you look at the first half, this team has done a great job, and in the second half, they can stretch their legs off, right in the which to get in the pockets and exploit fullbacks. Yeah, we're sitting near the players' families. Lots of fans were enjoying it very much when Jack Grealish was on that. Will we see any changes in the second half? Interestingly, Steve Holland addressed the media on Friday, and he said that he fully expects him and Gareth Southgate to utilise the 5 stars. So expecting plenty of changes, especially from the team.
Yes, I'm sure we'll get that. So it's very hard to be here at Wembley, that's for sure. And there's Will time. Frank, this is the first time I've really seen you for a little while, so I've got to take the opportunity to talk to you. Obviously, the Chelsea departure. How do you look back on that now?
Well, obviously, you never want to lose a job. I mean, pretty good company at Chelsea. This is the brutal reality of football at the top level. But with reflection, I had a few months off now. It's been nice actually to spend some time out of the game, and I'm pretty proud of the job I did. It was an honour to manage the club. I came in at a tough time with the ban and the loss of Eden Hazard, and worked really hard in year one to get into the Champions League. And Mason and people like that developing the younger players was a huge deal to me. So I'm happy. You don't want to lose your job, but it was a huge experience for me.
In hindsight, would you have done things a little bit differently?
I think I'll probably sit down and talk to you about a lot of things. That's the manager's job. There'll be a lot of things you could do differently. As I say, we're very proud of year one. In year two, there were different expectations, there were different complications. Every team had problems this year. We had a problem in January, and I left my job. But I can't go back and keep reflecting back on those things in a negative way. I only want to use it to look positively going forward.
You must have had real mixed emotions watching them win the Champions League, Frank. That'd be only be human.
Yeah, I mean, when you work towards something, you want to be there. You want to be the manager, and I'm never going to try and lay claim on that. I was part of the early foundation potentially, but Thomas did a fantastic job getting you there. But I will say, when I watched it, first, I'm a Chelsea person, and Chelsea fans are happy, and the club deserves that. But secondly, to see Mason and Reece perform at that level, people like Mendy and Chilwell and Thiago who came in my time there. Makes me pretty proud, but again, it was a great achievement by them and very well managed.
You're not going to spend too much time with us, so it hasn't put you off. You got to get back in.
As much as I love time with I'm certainly not put off, Alan. I'm certainly not put off. I love the job. I love the challenge with it. I'll be in at Chelsea, and I'd love to get back in at the right time and the right moment.
Any offers so far that you're prepared to tell us about?
I'm not the ones I'm prepared to tell you.
It's a busy summer, isn't it? With that front. Let's turn our attention back to the game here at Wembley. And well, it's a goalless first half, but entertaining. Goalless at half time, terrific first 20 minutes for England, tailed off a little bit towards the latter stages of the second half here. What do you suspect he'll do differently, if anything, because it did work well for most of that time?
I think defensively the shape will keep the same. They're very solid through the middle, allowing Croatia to go around the outside and not on the sides. That's fine, they can defend the box comfortably. But I think they'll be looking to get people to make them penetrate and run down from midfield with Mount and Phillips, but also Sterling and Foden. And that's again where we talked about the substitute. Someone like a Rashford coming in, make them run with the pace, would be a real threat and change the game.
Mount, Sterling and indeed Foden all look very dangerous at times, didn't they?
They did look dangerous, but I think a personal change at the right time. Even when we talk about Grealish, I think he could probably play in the advanced number 8 role as well as off the side. And if Gareth probably feels good enough and he wants to go to the wing, because I don't think there's much threat from Croatia as it stands, then he might bring on those attacking players.
This was very similar to what we saw in the opening game against Italy, where we said at half time they pressed well, they played well, they just wanted me to go on and get the goal. And I'm sure that's what Gareth will be saying. Look, continue what you did after that first 20 minutes. But this time they'll get a chance, and they've got to go on.
Patience is also very important, isn't it? Really? It's very easy.
Just see if I can get this.
He will not go gung ho. This is the first game. This is about not using this game. It's not about going out and trying to blitz the first 15. You've got to make sure again the field momentum of the course of the group stages. So you haven't got to go crazy right now.
Okay, well, the two teams are back on the field as well, so let's enjoy.
I know, I'm trying to get out
Gracious. Starters for our time into one, nothing is all around.
Yeah. I
Just yet. Croatia get the game going again. Modric very quickly is on the ball again. 5 years old, still looks to be by far and away his country's most influential player. 3 of the match awards at the last World Cup. Perisic. Useful pressure. Or Pickford to have to do something.
His toes there, Jordan Pickford, but simple enough to deal with. He's trying to clear it there.
Jordan Pickford. Just one first half effort on target from either side. That was the Calvin Phillips shot. Half cleared. Phillips, incidentally, talking of stats, the only player in the first half with a 100% pass completion rate, 18 out of 18.
He was brilliant in the first half. And it's even the little bits and pieces that he's doing here, breaking up play. This is, this is what international football or European football is mainly about a lot of the time. Not allowing teams to get into their rhythm. And he's already had 3 or 4 fouls, I think, in this game. thankfully, the yellow card's not come out yet, but he does it in a cute way, where he's just kind of stopping that momentum of Croatia. Really important in that midfield.
He's all right.
Perisic. So. Actually, well, maybe just look for that ball to Ivan Perisic out wide a little more often in this half. And they want to be on the ball a lot more. England want to win the game.
He needs to find a way to get himself into the game as well as the players. To be honest with you, usually when Harry's not getting on the ball, he drops a little bit deeper and tries to make things happen. But he's hardly had a kick so far. He needs to think about making some runs in behind. He's heavily marshalling, and always rightly so, but you want your talisman in the game as much as you can.
Stop reaching by Guardiola. Kovacic. Won the ball, but he's screamed into the tackle and in the game now. That's always going to get a player a booking.
Two teammates here, Mason Mount and Kovacic. Head to head. It's a strong challenge by Kovacic. He gets away from him and he just kind of he slides his whole body into the challenge. It can be really dangerous. Thankfully, Mason Mount's leg is off the ground. Otherwise, it could be much worse. But it's definitely a yellow card.
In book for Croatia. Kovacic joining centre back Duja Chalatasar.
He's left one on the leg. He doesn't need to slide in. Yeah, exactly. He's left one on the leg. Yeah, the teammates. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I'm room that's 17 minutes.
For it.
Never made a change.
With something on it. And Stones with something still to do. It's going for a Croatia throw, but pressing that.
On the right hand side by Croatia. Sissoko, Rich and Rebic, sharp, quick interchange in play.
So they've been given the instruction. Press more temper, more wholeheartedly. Hurry the England defenders. He's waiting for it. Well, not quite. Vida pinched it. Want to do that? They picked for Tanic. A few inside the stadium do similar.
There, I mean, thankfully, Jordan Dick's positioning was really good. He's probably not been spoken to by anyone. That's one of the big problems. Is asking Kieran Trippier. As I said, thankfully, Pickford was alert to the situation in a good position right on the edge of his box.
And you said what should be a goal, and I said you say that's fine. That means I was respecting. You said that's fine.
Walker.
When means are the same thing against Man City, and Man City when they scored on the 8th. I remember that game. This one with ball thing was different. Obviously, Names was controlling it, and obviously the guy's offside. He's playing that back. Touche. To be fair, but right though, he's still in an offside position. Yeah, but he can't be offside.
To Rice. So made a forward move. It's kicked in. A reverse movement.
Means chesting it and the guy tackling it. It's square. Did you see the button?
Modric. Ball under pressure, too much from Rice. It's going to be a Croatian free kick.
He seems to be having a little bit of a problem when, say, John Stones on the ball or Tyler Mings or Walker. It's good to find out midfielders or to find Foden. On the other side, we're doing a bit better. Sterling's managing to get the ball and Mason Mount, but to just get a little bit more movement, maybe a bit more rotation, to find those places.
Quick as the fence, followed by Foe.
Saka.
There should be advantage for the attack player because someone's doing G.
Pass to Guardiola.
Somebody got 30. But now he's just looking back in Europe.
Kovacic. Salko. Cynthia takes it off and sets off. I wanted him to keep going.
Keep going. Look, why is it not here? Make some stuff happen,
Minutes, not so much as the half went on the first half. The toe, Raheem Sterling. Kane, trying to beat Sterling. What's the shot on at any point? It was, I can tell you, trust me.
Watching Harry Kane enough to know that he doesn't need to guess twice to hit a shot. That's another little cheeky foul by Calvin Phillips. But it's one of those things that there's an art to it, I'm telling you. Breaking up play, let's get back into shape. It's really important. Done a brilliant job of it.
To Son. Modric. Vida. Been able to win it. She's left here for Croatia. Teresic waiting. Guardiola behind him. Guardiola. Kramaric. Modric. He will unleash. He's able to push in the blow. Shots on target. They're coming from Croatia. Never gets back away from Croatia. Moving the ball well, looking confident. The team effort from Luka Modric in the end, but it's a shot on target. Started the game when they took the lead in their last visit to Wembley in the Nations League after the World Cup of 2018. Kramaric got them in front. England came back to win 2-1 goals from Jesse Lingard and Harry Kane. A bit of restlessness in the Wembley stands. And a little bit of excitement at seeing Jack Grealish drop up the bench for his first warm-up of the day.
Some form of impact on this game. No doubt he will if he comes on the pitch.
Jack Grealish's name that has just been sung now. Started the first half and then nothing like it in the second. A bit sunshine for him.
I don't mind seeing Raheem Sterling swapping for 5 minutes. Making things happen. What is it, sorry, the yard of space? At times, the task of connections is right on the money for Ryan still. It's a great run. Can he hit the target? He does exactly that. It puts England 1-up in this time game. One of our star performers on the day. Thoroughly enjoyed his game.
Vindication for the manager's selection. England's first goal of the Euro 2020 goes to Raheem Sterling. A week for taking the honours.
Just mentioning that. Some form of change with him. Phil Foden swapping wings, but he made a great run from that right hand side into the centre forward position. The game's needed. He just needed somebody just to come out of the pattern. Everything's been very much passive 5 yards, passive 5 yards. I'll stand and I'll watch now. Raheem went and asked a different question. Well, answer we all liked, wasn't it?
Maybe you might be watching around the country now. Time to get back in your group for six. Stone's back to Victor. Victor to Walker.
Why are you there, Kane? Like, as a centre back, that's the Kane
Sterling. He has come down. He's posted on his social media this morning with the hashtag boy from Brent.
See, this type of play is better, I think. You know, if Foden's going to come out of his slot line, he wants to build an overload on one side. You get a little bit more movement.
One little moment can do. The England's players now. 2.5, more likely.
No, 60 minutes. Coaches go from a maybe starter to a must starter in this England side. Some performances played in this game, it really is. The freshmen of England players when they're coming into it.
Sterling. Matt.
They have changed it. They changed it.
Stones.
Dig him. He's taking up space.
Kane.
He tries to get involved in the game.
Badgered too keenly by Brozovic. It's going to be a free kick. Mount. A big tackle from Shimmy the South. Mount struck back at him. Stones. Sterling. This is Sterling. Mount. The shot down. The referee's pointed for a corner. As Kane collides with the post. Wow.
What defending this is. It's great play again. I talked about the overload. Foden getting involved, but that is a bit of defending there from Gillette to start. The ball from Mason Mount. It looked like Kane was going to put England 2 up. He just did enough to put him off. And he was all right. And then the whack he took against the post there, the England captain.
He stares down. You can see by the body language there is had a bit of concern about that blow that he's taken.
I think it just knocked the wind out of him.
What kind of a body did strike the right there? Was it the ribs or?
I think it looked like his arm. It looked like his upper arm, but when that kind of presses right against your ribs, it can knock the wind out of you. But look, England looks so much better when they play that way. You know, Foden's just got to a point in this game where he's gone, you know, enough's enough here. I'm off. There's the goal again. He just got to be on don't put the one on. He didn't get the point on home turn for England in England shirt, number 10. Massive moment for England.
Harry Kane back to his feet with a sprightly drop to the touchline ball, getting invited to get involved again.
He just nearly had his first taste.
It might be the bit of rejuvenation that
he needed.
Looking for.
Yeah, I mean, he's here to score goals. And he thought he was about to stick him in the back of the net there, and this game's just slowly starting to open up a little bit now, and you'll know there'll be a chance there for him.
Not clear enough in his bit to find Perisic. Let's go. Foden just let it go on. Continue. Croatia want to do that. Gets a yellow card for that tackle. That was on the instruction of the line, the official, I think. Just caught him late. Yellow card, but the official on the sideline, I think, signal to the referee. Should be given one. Steve Holland are in consultation. Kane. Stone.
He looked sharp, didn't he? Really sharp, considering he's had a season that a lot of people would say was below par. That was, given his standards.
He's Tottenham's a shit team. He has to go. The last time you saw Kane in English,
only one goal in his last 16 games for Manchester City. 13-17 for England. Modric, the Salco. It's going to come out for Kovacic. Now there's a chance that he's changed and then man on cue.
Bounce to the edge, no one's there.
That was a big chance. I think that Kyle Walker and John Stones do really well to get out to close it down. And forced him to try and pick a corner, and he dragged it horribly wide, really, in the end.
That's why we play 220 plus nothing to do. They've got to sit there deep. Yeah. You not say something to eat. I'd say something that's a brute.
President tries to make amends and commits the foul. Juicy plays again.
Yeah, you mentioned it first. There was all over Brozovic when he got on the ball. He thought he had time. Here's the drag from Mason Mount's body. Just there, watch the left arm. Just drags him down. Much more interesting. Probably a better chance to take it.
He's up off the floor, making that ball hit in a punch.
Now said it. You already said that.
He's study, focus and concentration as
Croatia build their defences. Mason Mount. Really good attempt. It had to be perfect though.
Yeah, I was thinking goalkeeper side, you've always got more room to get the ball up and down when you go that side. You're banking on the keeper trying to read it. He hits it really well though. It's close, really close.
Lock on Harry Kane has kept it to 1 now. Kovacic. To Saar. Forced by Kane to go back to Livakovic. And comes Mount to close, to press, to just roar at the crowd a little bit. Keep that momentum, which is what England are going to do by putting Marcus Rashford into the match.
He's so good at the Mason Mount. It's an area of his game that doesn't get the credit he really deserves. The work off the ball that he gives to a team. You know the qualities he has on the ball, but
There'll be 2 Croatia changes in Nikola Vlasic. He's going to come on, and Josip Brekalo. The winger. Phillips to stretch. Guardian. Return pass. It's bounced behind for a Croatia corner. Carl Walker's just expressed annoyance at that decision. And 69 minutes played. This is Croatia's first corner of the match. England have so far successfully repelled everything that's coming from wide. Oh my goodness, can Luka Modric deliver a good dead ball? Shot this time out to the edge. It was met pretty firmly, but accurately by Brozovic.
yeah, set piece that was set up well, delivered well. Brozovic just got on the wrong side of it, so that could be the last bit of work of his afternoon.
Changes. Brozovic off, the former Everton man, Nikola Vlasic is on for him. Brozovic on a yellow card. And then Brent Cumrich wants of Leicester, also takes his lead. Wolfsburg wide man Josip Brekalo in his place. It's England's opportunity to do one alteration to Phil Bowler is having a good day. Maybe 20 more minutes for him in this tournament. And Marcus Rashford comes on to a wonderful reception. Yeah, it's lovely to hear that from Marcus Rashford. Fully deserved.
Good afternoon's work as well for Phil Foden. There's more to come from him this tournament as we just
I saw his Instagram post about being down in London for the family for the weekend, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
He's an England fan today.
Play forward, boys. Play forward.
Ticket.
No, play Croatia. See you later.
Mengs.
That's nice of his left. That's it.
Okay.
There you go.
Might keep the ball in play. Croatia throw. We've gone on about the heat a fair bit, but in the next 19 minutes, expect this to be pretty high tempo stuff.
Well, that's what England have to control. Exactly that. They've got their goal. They know Croatia are going to have to open up a little bit. They're going to take more risks. This is international football, and this team has got experience within it at European level. They know what it's like to go into the last stage of the game, slow things down, keep the ball as much as you can. Just don't let Croatia get into any form of rhythm that they enjoy.
This team here, that's what I understand. Sometimes it's about playing your best player. It's about playing your best team. To take advantage. Yeah.
Perisic with that one. Now Walker, who rose to meet it. Trying to set Rashford away. Shot to Saar. Ricochets into Kovacic's possession, and now Modric. Branko. That one, Vlasic. Flipped away yet. Walker kept his cool. Perisic right on his shoulder.
Walker is. He just got his body into the right position. The whole time. Brilliant defending. He's control of space. He knows where Perisic wants to go and win this ball. There's no under. Really good defending.
Very much appreciated. So most of the 22,500 fans inside. McCain takes a bump and barge. Free kick for England.
McCain classic. Here comes the foul. We'll take it. Smart play. Just buy a bit of time. This is exactly what I was talking about, really. How to manage games, things like that.
Leeds is up there. John Stones to Trippier who delivers, and Stones might get to it. It's Maxwell did big chance.
That's what you are a striker.
Really good play
You don't need
to get the ball back in play, and he's setting himself forward. Just fell to the wrong person, unfortunately, on his left foot anyway. Just flashes at it.
Phillips wins it. Kicked it in before.
Yeah.
John Stones is seated in the centre circle. Gives me the chance to tell you what's coming up. Your festival of football that has begun. Euro 2020 highlights tonight, BBC One, 11:15. Tomorrow, it's Scotland's turn. Scotland against the Czechs, live on BBC One, 1:15 p.m. After the treat. It's followed later on by Spain against Sweden at 7:50.
Also, a quick one, lads. Sorry, so if you're here and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, 2 Maggies up top. Please leave the premises. 2 Maggies up top, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
You subscribe now.
Yeah, come on. We're there. Yeah, Big 10.
We're there.
Problem.
Come on.
It's a bit cramped.
He's suffering with it. Really hot day for the players. Keep mentioning that. You see there with politics, the players are not happy. They want him off the pitch. They want to just get back into exactly what I was talking about before, that rhythm.
John Terry, you still get fluid races.
Available and in the squad very soon.
Joining in training with the rest of the 26 now.
All good signs.
Two Maggies.
From a fitness point of view, where he's at, and when to use him, when he can bring him in.
As long ago as March, that Gareth Southgate was already saying that he knew his ideal starting lineup for this championship. And actually, Harry Maguire was in there.
it must be said, has done a very good job deputising the goal. Loving you in Leeds for that, Jimmy. I'm not doing it for that reason, but he has been brilliant. He's got it. So show his energy side in the last 2 minutes. That's a good thing for Croatia. Here's Perisic. Again, Modric now. Leader. Dracula.
Because World Cup is in final and you just think
City's here. Play a long way. Rebic. With the crossing of the price extension himself to Premier.
It's important that you keep that cool because Croatia kind of played their hand upon with an extra body up top. Vlasic was playing almost in the hole.
Another body up top, a significant body. Bruno Petkovic on for Ante Rebic. Physical striker.
The options are there, we've just got to make the decision when we need it and when to use it.
Just joy. It's back inside Wembley Stadium. 22.5.
Doesn't get much better, does it? Sun's out, Wembley Stadium, major tournament, England are winning. Beautiful thing.
11 minutes of the 90 remain. That's a shot. Go Guardiola. Petkovic touches to give it away to Rashford. This first touch more or less is to
it's been a long season. His back must be hurt. Take him off last 10 minutes and give him a pressing. I'm feeling sorry for him now. After that, and Daniel
Guardiola. Petkovic.
Tomorrow is not
Down. He pulled to the floor by Sterling. Without his judgment controlling his side, using a few more seconds to regroup. Kovacic. Backside of Perisic. Getting ball in towards the box that he could really attack. Championship.
Speaks volumes about the players' maturity. He's here at the age, but this one of the game, 10 minutes of time on him to go. recognition, a little bit more support in that area. With the pace that Marcus has at the top end of the pitch, this gives us a bit more option for that longer ball to get his upper pitch. Passed across to Raheem Sterling.
Yes, Perisic.
That was a strange shade. I feel like to go long now.
Birmingham City system will make his debut just 38 days after his 16th birthday. Star for Borussia Dortmund. Champions League you just has to watch it and know exactly where his place and goal line was.
Concentration, really key now in the latter stages.
The Wales supporters were incredibly nervous in the last few minutes of their opening game yesterday. Back against Switzerland. It was at 1-1. The United supporter was doing similar sort of thing, especially remembering 5 years ago in Marseille, when we went against Russia because of a guy's blockbuster. They were 1 point at the end. Tasilic, just Croatia getting ready for his tournament to start. Modric. Chich is off. There is a Chelsea regular. Tasilic comes on. Never got to be a Chelsea regular. 3 years at Atalanta. Nothing to do before the end of this. It's on the ball. To Sara attacking out.
I like that. I love it.
It comes off John Stones' head. It's always just like the not getting those two things to deal with the defending because you've got such a high line. You know there's a lot of space for that ball to get ripped into. You're thinking it's like cat and mouse. Who's first to drop into the space? If you drop too early, you're not catching players offside. You can see why it's a bit frantic in those moments.
Straight out from Jordan Pickford.
You may sit though, never take a sit. It was just moments like that, you're like, oh, yeah, do that. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, he still has that in him where he does that. It took Pepe to reach 35 before he got most of the time, he was true at 35.
They that's what that pitching the striker, and like one neck and shit, all that.
Across the line for a goal kick. I've just made a point to Jordan Pickford that he will be looking at his watch now.
Yeah. Well, that's too many ballers.
Time to do it.
I'm really happy out there in the short today, yes.
Scoring the 7 euro, 2016,
I'm saying one day straightforward. I don't think that easy.
Unranked team.
Now they are at that point.
I don't think people are scared. This is Jacob Lowe's last two there.
the final big efforts. Glenn Jones down there in conversation with Mason Mount. Pointed to Norton's coaching staff just before the tournament, having played a big part in Newcastle's rise away from trouble under Steve Bruce in the latter part of the season we just enjoyed.
I think it's brilliant from Gareth Southgate's point of view. He surrounds himself with top quality coaches, all ideas. And what we see on the pitch today will be a conversation of those ideas and how they see the game planning out. It's got the best people around you. It makes sense.
There's your goal kick. The time running out for them.
You should be
The next two games are in Glasgow. Czech Republic at Hampden next Friday, then in Scotland.
She's got that experience that signing one frame, the Champions one employment. Rather than the 4 5
Trying to sign. Selka. 90 minutes are off. Another 40 play. Here's Perisic getting in behind Walker, but nobody is waiting on Croatia shirt in the middle. Jordan Pickford will wait every available second before diving on the ball. There will be one more England change if they get a chance before the end with Dominic Calvert-Lewin ready to play.
Defensively, he's been solid. Right place, right time. This angle plays pretty well today.
Trippier can't get involved for a goal kick. England can now make the substitution, and Raheem Sterling will make way. What a wonderful afternoon he's had. 1 minute,
Really good start to his tournament. He's been electric all game. There's a big hook from his manager. Hopefully as well.
As far away as he can. He keeps his work in the air. Modric. Guardiola. Modric. 2 minutes to go. Even 1, Croatia now.
Yes, right there.
Excellent chance from Bellingham. Croatia.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to start. Towards Pekovic.
Stay down. Yeah, stay down. That's it.
Some calm there to proceedings. This is the word we used to associate with keeper. He has the children last 3 years.
I think in an England shirt, definitely. I think that Gareth trusts him. There's question marks open on a weekly basis whether he should be England's number 1, but in an England shirt, he seems to be able to deliver. Number 1 jersey, which has been tough for a lot of our countries over the years.
Before we speak here, going for Croatia.
Interested to see what's said about some of that man's question marks, a lot of uproar, but he's got the balance absolutely spot on today. I'll give him credit for that for herself.
Very much his own man with his own team. The team out in the middle playing for him.
They're not going to take to what the coach said. They're going to each game knowing the best way to win the game, the formula that you need, the balance, the experience, the youth. I think today he's going to go to example of it, how much Gareth is growing.
Playing for Croatia, past the 4 minutes. This is last chance time. The shot. He made the goal. Sterling scored. A full 3 points on day 1. It's Sterling start. England 1, Croatia then.
European matches in which Raheem Sterling has scored a great start for England. 3 points in the bag and well placed to kick off in this tournament. So Raheem Sterling, the hero of the hour. But and overall, it was a very solid, impressive performance for England.
Yeah, there was plenty of positives to take from that, Gary. The whole game, I was impressed with them. They did what they had to do. They started off with an intention to go after Croatia. They did that. They set the tone of the game. The balance looked good. The way they set up Gareth's decisions, what we spoke about before, whether it was Trippier or whether it was Phillips or whether it was Sterling. All of those decisions have worked for him today. So well done, Gareth, and well done, England.
Frank, your thoughts on that performance for them? What a result to build on for this competition.
Again, Gareth calls it great. The energy of the team, the organisation of the team, that's a clean sheet, will give confidence to the match. And can't see them getting to the strength off the back of it. I thought it was really, really impressive.
I think we're looking at the boys expect that we can sit out there, play all the ball, Olympic players, 4 or 5 goals in, but in international football, it's not like that, Rio, is it?
No, it's about protecting your moments like we did, but also managing the game through difficult spells. There were times when they were the front foot, but they took it from the perishable. The comeback will be patient. I was very impressed with the patience of this team from back to front. For getting right in front of the back four with superb in his positions, cutting out crosses, getting to great positions to cut lines into the first strikers. Listen, there is different steps to what they do. They double it to do.
It's very much appreciated by the England fans there, and the applauded down Southgate, who was born in return. Lovely atmosphere in the stadium. I know it's only a quarter full now, but it really does make a difference to what we've been used to over that.
The players enjoy this and his boys have enjoyed that today, and so they should, because they've worked very hard to get to this moment. They knew that the pressure was on them. Gareth knows that the pressure was on him, and he had to make some big decisions today, as I said, and those decisions worked. You should enjoy today and tonight.
Here it comes. You're the only one who is playing a home tournament.
What's that come to? Well, we drew against Switzerland in that first game. And then there was questions asked, but then you win the next game, you just feel like you can feel the atmosphere, the place. It's different when you play here in Wembley in a tournament like this. It's got a great feeling to it, and we're all enjoying it, and the fans have enjoyed it. So they should, because there's plenty to build on there. It's really not going to be big and better tests to come along. But that is a very, very impressive start. They've done what they have to do, and yeah, very well done.
I think everything really worked for Gareth Southgate, probably how he wanted it to. You can see why he picks certain players in certain positions, Frank.
Yeah, and as a manager, there'd be nothing as fulfilling as that. When you make calls that maybe could be questioned, the right back and left back, you tweak the system. I don't think any of us quite expected Phillips to play advanced like he did in the first half, probably man of the match of the game. So I just think from Gareth's position, he can look at it now and say, there's something about this group. What I asked of them, the energy, they've got that kind of bit of attitude and arrogance that they seem to have in a good way. I'm not sure we've had in our group for a long time. With this atmosphere around and this crowd behind it, I can do something.
There's huge pressure, by the way. Once the team came out, you look on social media, you guys in the stadium. Oh, what's your big man left back? Why do I really stop there? Why do you stop there? Certainly, his 13th goal in 17 games, by the way. He's someone who could be trusted in an English shirt. Yes, club form might not be there, but an English shirt, Gareth's got people he can trust. Listen, this England
I said that before the game, when Terry Bennett stuck with me. I was still scoring goals for Blackburn, but I've never scored for almost 2 years. There's a lot of people shouting for me to stay in the team, and I get it, I understand that. I think that was similar to Raheem today. I'm not saying he's going to go and score a load of goals, but that decision today took a lot of courage. And Gareth knows him, he knows that he works with him, he's seen him in training, and Raheem never let him down, and Gareth stood by him today, and that's a decision that's worked really well.
Well, let's hear from the goal scoring hero for England. Here's Raheem Sterling in case.
Scored the winner in the opening game of the Euros.
I always said if I played at Wembley at a major tournament, I'm scoring at Wembley. It's great to finally do that. Honestly, there's a lot of different reasons I haven't scored for my club, and that's totally irrelevant now. I'm here with England, I'm enjoying my football, that's what's important. I'm just score. It's great to get off to a win. That's the most important thing. We got off to a win. Now we've got the game to look forward to, and hopefully we go to that and win again. As I said to you, it's been a long season for me. I couldn't wait to get here, couldn't wait to get started with England. I knew it would be a positive.
Yeah, big smile on his face, and quite rightly so. Let's have a look at the goal. A terrific bit of play from Calvin Phillips. The first Leeds player to have an assist for England since 1999, David Batty.
Yeah, listen, it was a fantastic one. We spoke about this. Listen, would he play alongside Declan Rice? No. Today, Gareth given Rice to run forward. This is a run. I love the front looking and running effective areas. Dragging people across, but the run from Sterling from central area. Realising where the space was. Seeing a little bit deeper in the ball there. Makes a starting run, that pace, but then all about the timing of the pass, coming in and then the composure to finish.
There was a freedom about their play, wasn't there? The way he sort of came off that left hand side, came inside and pushing forward as we've seen him so many times. And Sterling makes that run. All he needs now is he needs to wait pass to be perfect. And it was. We got in there superbly well and Sticker was
You see on his face what it means.
Of course, because I think so is at a tough time. I say this has not been quite himself, but as we have keep talking about, he has produced at this level, and he will be in and around central areas. He won't play on the wing, and that's why he scores so many goals season after season. I'd have to say the goal there was with the structure of the team at times. I think the midfield players flat and high, the wingers being wide. Sometimes you've got trying to get predictable. The minute Phillips changed his position, the minute Sterling came off the line and Foden and players like that, we were really dangerous.
See that reception from not just the players on the pitch towards Raheem, but those warming up on the sidelines there. You can see Rashford and Grealish, so it shows what it means. They've got a togetherness, and when you've got a big squad like that, that's key, isn't it?
Yeah, togetherness. And what happens when you're in a squad situation like that, an environment when the culture's been created by Gareth the way it has been, is that they feel your pain. The players would know. They will know that he's been under pressure. They'll know that Raheem Sterling's name been on the starting 11. People were calling for Grealish, etc. So to see him go in there, and I'm sure Grealish and the others will be patting him on the back saying, "Oh, well done. And you are a man that produces regularly in this shirt."
And it's probably important to say, the likes of Grealish, their time will come in their time. It's almost certain. In different teams that sit, you want probably players like Grealish will open them up.
Well, I think that's exactly what will happen in the next two games. I think we'll stop around the Czech Republic. We'll actually sit there and seek deep. So it might be that Gareth decides to change it, to bring one or two fresh legs in, because he can do that. He's got the ability, and that's the good thing, I think, that certainly in forward positions, the number of quality players that we've got. If someone's not performing, then they know that they run the risk of not playing the next game.
England have beaten decent opposition. I mean, people will say this, that, and the other, but Croatia obviously beat England in the semi-finals. They're World Cup finalists. They've got some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, it would be easy to put down Croatia. They didn't play particularly well, but they have threats and they can play. The major part of that game for me was how England pressed, how they made it hard for them to play, the energy they had. There was a desire about their playing, and for me, it was completely about England today, winning it.
And I suppose the big concern going into the game was in the centre of defence, but they really never looked like scoring or troubling England. I think Rebic had a half opportunity, but that was probably the best that they could sum up.
They were toothless. We were sitting up here during the second half. They don't offer much through the middle at all. And yes, Tyrone Mings will have stiffer tests coming into this tournament in later stages. But what he was asked to do today, Tyrone Mings especially, he done with aplomb. He was fantastic. And this was the only real chance that they had in the game, half chance. But I mean, centre back here is the question mark in his team. Today, they were very comfortable.
That was it. That was the only threat, really. We were sat here. We were never overly concerned that England, once they scored, were going to lose that.
And I mean, it wasn't a game of many chances, to be perfectly honest, wasn't it? There's a Mount free kick. I think we can have a look at that went very close to the top corner. The keeper may have had it anyway.
Matt Mason has the technique to score that. When he tries to go on the goalkeeper's side, the goalkeeper doesn't move, and it's just over the bar. But I thought Mason's performance all round is absolutely class. He for me is the best attacking midfielder in terms of pressing and jumping from midfield to win the ball back. He's doing it here in the second half in his heat.
It's a remarkable all-round game, doesn't he?
Is that taught, or is that something that's just inside? You just know you have a sense of when to go.
I taught him it.
I thought to you
when it came to Derby, he can do anything. He's got the. As I said before, he knows the right moments to go. He has to work ethic, and he will run all day and give his everything. Again, that's why when you're playing that midfield, he has to play in this team like that.
And the other thing, England mixed it up a little bit. They tried to get behind the Croatian defence at times.
And I think that's really important because we know that they can pass the ball well, but teams will be watching this and say, okay, they're not just a passing team, they can do that. As I said, I thought there was an intelligence about the play where one player came inside, which then created the space for England to do that. So not only do they pose a threat with their passing and moving game, they pose a threat with their pace because they can do that. And they've got willing runners with pace like Sterling to do things like if they can find the ball in behind, which they did that 3 or 4 times, then other teams will look at that performance today and say, yeah, this is a good England team.
You know what I like about that is that it's gone away from, everybody's got into this culture at the moment of every ball's got to be 5 yards, 10 yard max, playing short ticky-tacky passing and following suit. Sometimes mixing your game up and surprising teams with that element there, the long ball, the runs in behind, really does surprise teams.
Especially against the high line, I guess, where if teams are sitting, then it's different, isn't it? You've got to keep the ball and move the ball.
Yeah, and I think that's the added plus you get when you get a Sterling, you get a Rashford in the team. And we're going to have different opposition. Someone like Scotland, as we spoke about earlier, may tend to sit back a bit deeper. Then you need the likes of the Fodens and the Grealishes to then pick the holes from little intricate areas. So different horses, different courses.
Is there anything in the performance any of you would have expected a bit more today? A bit disappointing?
Probably only Harry Kane, I suppose. He looked a little bit slow for me. That ball that came across, I was expecting to put it in the back of the net. But England was playing well, didn't create that many chances for him to get on the end off. But I think other than Harry Kane, I thought everyone looked really sharp.
Yeah, and I wouldn't worry about Harry Kane.
No.
You know, he's that man. And you know what? Save one today. The team played really well. There'll be a really positive feel about the group. Harry Kane will deliver when it comes.
The pressing, it was spasmodic. They were doing it in certain periods of the game. In this heat, you can't do that for 90 minutes. But when they did it, it worked really well.
And that's where, when I spoke before about the game management, it wasn't a full 90 minutes of like gung-ho football. When it suited us, when it was a time was right to go, when the right triggers came, we went. And what I liked about it is it wasn't just in single numbers. It was on just one. It was 2, 3, 4s they were going in, and they picked their times really well. And off the back of it, winning the ball back and then controlling. I think the first half of the first half, they really done it really well. And I would go as far to say that was probably their intentions coming out of the changing room, because tactically it worked perfectly.
I think it was really good because it actually set the tempo, set the tone of the game, which is what we wanted them to do. Because I think it would have been so bad of them to sit back and try and feel their way into the game, but they showed their intention by going after Croatia and when they didn't have the ball, and then doing this. And I think that's actually set them up to play the game they did.
I think we can hear from one of the other England players, Tyrone Mings, is with us.
For 3 points in England's opening group game of the Euros at Wembley in front of the fans, so I guess that's a pretty good afternoon's work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a dream to play at a major tournament for England, and I loved every second of it. It was probably the hottest game I've played in. But the team showed a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and a lot of quality at times as well. So we're over the moon with the start.
Was it a typical tournament game in many ways, because you did have to kind of be patient and take your chances when they came?
I've got no idea because I never played in one.
You watched a few.
I've watched a few, and it seems a lot more straightforward watching than it does playing. But yeah, absolutely, they're a top team, as we found out before. So it for us to repel their threats and deal with whatever they threw at us. But equally, we always have quality to trouble teams as well.
Let's talk about that quality that in the end troubled Croatia, that winning goal from Raheem Sterling. How impressive was that as a team move, do you think?
I can't even remember, if I'm honest. I know Calvin put in a lot of good work. And then Raz obviously has got the quality in front of the goal and the composure, as he's showed many, many times to finish. And from there, of course, we wanted a second, but it was important that, of course, as a defender and as a team that wants to be hard to beat, be resilient and get the clean sheet.
Yeah, I was going to say, how pleasing is that? Because sometimes watching England towards the end of games, it can get a bit nervy, but you look very calm, very composed, and you look that cool as well.
Yeah, we felt composed and we felt that we were in good shape. The back four obviously is only as good as the players in front of it giving protection. So full credit to the whole team. I think the players that came on were brilliant and gave us a new lease of life as well and gave us some energy. And that's what's going to be important for us, utilising the whole squad.
And the perfect preparation going into not only a second game of the tournament, but a unique one against Scotland on Friday.
Yeah, all the lads are fully focused now on that game, and it's going to be one hell of an occasion, but we know what's coming. We know what threats Scotland will have, and it will be important for us to focus on the game and not the occasion.
From being a mortgage advisor to playing in England's opening group game of Euros. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fantastic performance. How important is it for a central defender, particularly one that's coming in as a replacement, in all honesty, to perform like that and get a clean sheet?
Oh, huge. I mean, one thing he would have been doing is thinking, can I, can't I? He hasn't had the experience, as I said before, the game, top level football in Champions League, etc. He hasn't been exposed to that level of football. Comes out here today and looks so composed. Listen, today when he was asked to defend the boxes we spoke about half time, that's food and drink for him. That's what he loves to do, and he's done it really, really well today. But also with the ball time, he done what he needs to do, play the ball into dangerous areas. But what it will do for his confidence now, not just for himself, but also around the squad. Because listen, teammates, it can be quite like that you're sitting there going, can he do it? I don't know if I trust him yet. That would instill confidence in not only himself, but also the teammates around him, which is needed.
Exactly. I thought he was in the right position at the right time. He showed the maturity to his performance, and I think he did that very well as well. When he had to do that, and that was a very, very good pass down the line to Raheem Sterling. And what that also does is it gets the team another 15 or 20 yards up the pitch and allowed England to play on the front foot a lot of the time, and another excellent tackle there.
I think it's a great challenge when you have a player who's actually big, left-footed player, and strong. He can do a lot of things that you look around a lot for. I know they're a premium to find a player that can play that left side, give you a nice balance, defend the box, do the job they need to do.
At this sort of level, I mean, obviously the players, they're all gifted, they all have tremendous ability. How much is it between the ears? How important is that mental strength?
Hugely important. When you get to this level, people talk about concentration. One moment in a game that can change it, particularly if you're a defender. And when you're new to it, you just said, then this is my first tournament. We've got quite a few of those players. That's why today was so impressive, and that's why it'll be so good for their confidence that they've got through it so well.
And that's what I really am loving about this squad. There's a fearlessness about them because that comes with age. When you haven't been scarred by any previous tournaments or stuff that's gone in the paint, we've had loads of that over the years. These young lads that are coming through now haven't got that. They're walking through. You see Phil Foden coming to the tournament, bleaches his hair. You see Mason Mount, we spoke about before the game, talking about Modric, who's one of the best midfielders of his generation, with an arrogance, but a good arrogance that we like to see. That shows you these boys, they've got a swagger about them. They've all won tournaments as kids as well, coming through for England in English shirts. It's an important factor.
Sorry, Gary. I think I noticed that as a player in the generations when Spain were the top team for a while, and when France came together, they would come through the dressing room back at Chelsea or wherever, and they had something about them. And then sometimes our Britishness, our Englishness is a little bit, oh no, we need to stay because this might go wrong or whatever. They kind of believe in themselves. It's a tiny bit about this group like that.
I sense one of the players with that attitude is Calvin Phillips. Let's hear him.
Calvin, as you walked over here to do an interview, then the fans that are still inside the stadium said you were absolutely class. That's what our studio was saying as well. How much did you enjoy it out there today?
It was very enjoyable. It was really warm for the start. It took a toll on us towards the end of the game, and yeah, it was obviously a great result. Obviously very happy with the performance, but I know that there's two more group games left, and we need to perform just as good as that, if not better, in the next
It
group.
must feel even better when you